First of all, definitely the majority of Sunnah brothers, they say yes, Ali bin Abi Talib had a daughter, according to them, and they claimed that Ali alayhi salam let her get engaged or married to Al-Khalifa Umar al-Khattab. And the Umar al-Khattab, Al-Khalifa Umar al-Khattab, he had Zayd and Ruqayyah. So they claim there is a person in history, his name is Zayd bin Umar bin al-Khattab and Ruqayyah bin Umar bin al-Khattab. Among Shia, this is what we care about. We have opinion that says that marriage occurred. Allah, this is not my business. But let's analyze history. Did that really happen? And I want you to think with me. Sometimes, brothers and sisters, we just see hadith, sahih al-sanad or da'if al-sanad, and we stick to it. Why? There is hadith. Do we build our aqidah and our intellectuality and reasonable thinking because there is hadith that contradicts, let's say, certain facts or does not add up? Yani some Muslims, they narrate Shahr Ramadan is always 30 days. I stick to it, yani, masalan? No. Scientifically is wrong. We have in Shia resources and Sunni resources that Al-Imam Ali wal-'iyadhu billah they claim that he said, do not let Imam al-Hasan get married with your, daughters. Why? Because he is well known. He divorces women a lot. Kana mitlaqan, they say. Is that right? Imam Hassan, Sayyid Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. And every one of us here knows that talaq abghad al-halal, isn't it? One of the worst, if not the worst, halal thing to do. Is it possible Imam Ali is telling people that Imam Hassan used to divorce women, his wives? And really, that will happen? I mean, how many kids he has? How many women claim that Imam Hassan, she was married to Imam Hassan? Where is it in history? I'm not here to analyze this, but this is, we say, does not add up. You bring hadith, sahih al-sanad, da'if al-sanad, I will tell you this does not add up. Imam Hassan, Sayyid Shabab Ahl al-Jannah, and this act, everybody knows it's what does not make sense. So the idea, brothers and sisters, not every hadith, sahih al-sanad, I rejected. And I do not reject the hadith or a historical event because I don't like it. It's not subjective. You have to analyze. Hello, we come to the story of the marriage. First of all, did Imam Ali alayhi salam had a daughter named Ruqayyah or Kulthum or Zainab? Imam Ali alayhi salam, when Fatima bint Muhammad al-Ma'suma al-Tahira, salamullahi alayha, passed away, she had living kids, Al-Imam Al-Hasan, Al-Imam Al-Husayn, Zainab, and Zainab al-Wusta. We call it what? Kulthum. And in Majalis al-Aza and in the history of Karbala, it is well known that Imam al-Husayn, Yawm al-Ashir, he called them, Ya Ukhayya Zainab, Ukhayya Kulthum. You hear this a lot. Kulthum is the sister of Imam Hussein. So now, when was that lady born? And is it feasible, as age-wise, to Imam Ali to get married, his wife, to Al-Khalifa Umar? Allah. Some people, they are going to say, Sheikh, you are taking it personal, and you are taking parts and sides. No, I'm not here to analyze personalities and intention. I'm talking about facts. Whether I like the guy or I don't like the guy, that's a different story. I have nothing to do with it. Yani, in other words, Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam, they do not think like us. They do not deal with people like us. Imam Ali, when Al-Khalifa Abu Bakr passed away, he married his wife, his widow, technically. Okay? So he had Asma. When Abu Bakr passed away, he married Asma. And the son of Asma, his name was Muhammad bin Abi Bakr. Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, was one of the best companions of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Muhammad bin Abi Bakr. So Ahl al-Bayt, they do not deal with things personal level or discrimination. They try to fix the society if there is a place to be fixed. You do not distinguish fire with fire. This is a big subject. It has to be studied, analyzed. But now we come to the story of Kulthum. We'll check the historian. When Ruqayya, or I'm sorry, Kulthum Zainab al-Wusta was born. Some narrations, they say 7. Some narrations, they say 10 Hijri. 10 Hijri. 10 Hijri. Yani almost by the end of the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Very close. 10 Hijri, ya Habibi, if it's 10 Hijri, you claim that Al-Khalifa Umar married her when it was 17 Hijri. You claim that. Sunni school of thought, they will tell you Umar, Al-Khalifa Umar married Kulthum, the daughter of Imam Ali, as they claim, 17 Hijri. But you are telling me she was born, according to some narrations, 10 Hijri. Yani how old was she? 10 Hijri. We married in the 17 Hijri. How many? 7 years. Is it possible for Imam Ali to let a daughter that young to marry a guy who was around 60 years old to 65 years old? Because Al-Khalifa Umar al-Khattab, he passed away around the 23 Hijri. Yani he is between 60 to 65 years old. Yani you are talking about more than 55 years more or less difference. That's one thing. That does not add up. Does not add up. Secondly, when we look at this marriage, let's check our ahadith. Do we have a hadith that this lady had a son called Zayd? We have some narrations according to Al-Kulayni and others that Imam Sadiq said the marriage was forced and imposed Imam Ali. If you do not let me marry your daughter, I'm going to do this and that, I'm going to threaten to do this and that, I'm going to tarnish your image, blah, blah, blah. Al-Abbas, when he heard that, he came to Imam Ali. Abbas is the uncle of Imam Ali, okay? Mish Al-Abbas, the son of Imam Ali. Al-Abbas came, he said, oh Imam, let me deal with it. And, you know, the marriage was in the hand of Al-Abbas. We have some narrations like this. But I am questioning even that narration because the facts do not add up. That's one thing. Second thing. Third, let's say the marriage happened. Let's say, Ya Habibi, Zayd, where is he? What did he accomplish? They say, oh, Zayd and his mom, Kulthum, yani the daughter of Imam Ali, they passed away in the same day. And nobody knows, much about them. Hey, subhanallah, you bring a character to the movie, yani Marvel, it's a Marvel. You bring 2 characters and then it vanish. Why? We do not know. Khalas, they passed away. Thar heki fi problem, he was killed and his mom was killed. Disappeared. طيب, if the marriage happened, Ya Ammi Abdullah bin Umar, other kids of Umar bin Khattab, did they mention this marriage? Did they come to Ahl al-Bayt? They used to say, hey guys, we are related. Did that happen in history? Do we have any evidence, solid evidence that Wallah Abdullah bin Umar, the son of Umar bin Khattab, used to say, oh, you Ahl al-Bayt and us, we are related. Why nobody mentioned it? Why? Don't you be proud that you are related to Imam Ali alayhi salam? Not any guy. He is the Imam. So how come that was not mentioned in history? Fourth, that's another problem. What you are going to do with the narrations, many of them, or several of them, that said, Kulthum was alive. She did not pass away in the time of Muawiyah. Because they say, Kulthum and her son Zayd bin Umar bin Khattab passed away around 49 Hijri in the time of Muawiyah. What you are going to do with her narrations contradicting your story? And famous narrations. Fifth, you are telling me that Khalifa Umar al-Khattab, made the dowry of Kulthum, the daughter of Imam Ali, 7 years old, huh? That's the problem. Remember, this is the problem. This is a dilemma by itself. The dowry of her was 44,000 dinar. Dinar, yani a piece of coin, gold. Huh? And some narrations, they said 100,000 dinar. Every dinar is a coin of gold. بتقول له يا حبيبي, where did Umar al-Khalifa, Umar al-Khattab, the humble person, get this money from? You used to tell me he's poor. هيك سبحان الله هيك نزلوا هيك FedEx يعني مثلا Amazon.com delivered to him. والله stocks كان يشتري crypto يعني I have to know. Where did he get that money from? Wallah, he used artificial intelligence, was able to create gold, from nothing. You tell me this guy, he used to be humble, poor, careless about money. All of a sudden he had 44,000. And you think Ali ibn Abi Talib will accept the dowry of his daughter to be 44,000 dinar? And the dowry of Fatima was about 50 dinar, 500 dirham. Yani the difference is 43 and 500 dinar. That's a lot of money. Ahl al-Bayt, they will ask for expensive dowry. يعني عندنا نحن بقولوا غلاء المهر المرأة من شؤمها. يعني if you want to ruin her life, ask for high dowry. Wallah, how much, the dowry of my daughter would be? You tell him, 20,000. No, $1 million. I did some marriage, The guy requested $1 million dowry. Because that's a different story now. But you, Sahabi, mashallah, you give sadaqah supposedly, you did not even care about fadak, you did not care about this and that. Where do you get this money from? Did Ahl al-Bayt, you think Ahl al-Bayt will accept a dowry $44,000? So we say the story does not add up. The last thing. The last thing, brothers and sisters, our problem when it comes to history is like nowadays a problem. Hala, open your TV to any channel. There is a channel, well-known channel, is against certain war. The second channel will be pro that war. Don't we see it now? Do we have objectivity? Do you see objectivity in the media? Man, they want to buy TikTok because they want to ruin objectivity, isn't it? They want to be in control. Head in hand. I don't want to put anyone in trouble. But anyway, back then, those who are writing the history, you think these people were very objective? To tell me, Sheikh, what are we going to do with the hadith Sahih al-Sanad that says, that marriage happened and was imposed on Imam Ali, but they say she had no kids from him. It was just katb kitab, as a contract. We say, some scholars, they say Kulthum could be the daughter of another wife, Asma. She had a daughter, her name was Kulthum. So maybe those narrations, or maybe the events happening in history was regarding that Kulthum, not the Kulthum of Imam Ali. You tell me, how come Imam Ali was against, and this is nice story, by the way. That hadith Sahih Sanad they bring from Al-Kulayni, Imam Ali rejected Al-Khalifa Umar al-Khattab. Why? He said, my daughter is still young. Ajib, you let the Prophet get married from Sayyidah Aisha, 9 years old, but when it comes to Imam Ali, you say, no, this is too young. في عندنا problem in history, we have to analyze it. Though we have narrations of the record, that the Prophet, when he married Sayyidah Aisha, was about 17, 18 years old. And she was engaged, according to some, historian. She was not 9 years old. Let's just keep it in mind. Inshallah, one day we'll talk about it. But they want to make big deal out of it. As if the Prophet had no one in this life. Khalas. Our problems with people are becoming atheists because of these weird narrations that we do not analyze. It is not enough just to tell me, because I heard on the news, because I read on social media, because my friend who I trust told me, therefore this happened. Ya Habibi, your friend, I'm not saying he's a liar. The Sahabi, I'm not saying he's a liar. But is there a chance that Sahabi might misunderstand things? Yeah. If there is marriage happened between Kulthum and الخليفة Umar ibn الخطاب, where is the wedding? What happened in the wedding? Go read the stories. It's a shameful stories when they talk about it. And then how many people narrated this? How many? How many? And it's like an event in a jar or an event in a big city. How many Sahabi narrated this marriage? There's another question. So, brothers and sisters, what I want to say, when we read history, do not just depend on Sahih al-Sanad or Da'if al-Sanad. You give it to special people, give it to those who are expert to analyze things. Now we look at Sahih al-Bukhari. You know how many hadith Sahih al-Sanad I bring you? Sahih al-Sanad contradicts facts and science. And imagine in Sahih al-Bukhari, we have riwayah, when the sun sets, it goes beneath the throne. Then the angels return it back. Yani عندنا sunset to sunshine. Why? Because wallah, الشمس doing kazdura in Lebanese terminology. Ya Habibi, what do you mean? Sun goes or comes back. What are you talking about? Where do you live, man? Oh, you are accusing Bukhari. You are saying the Prophet is... Ya Habibi, I'm not accusing anyone. I respect every person. But there is a big difference between ma'soom, infallible, and a person might misunderstand. I'm claiming, I'm using the benefit of doubt. This guy, he misunderstood. That's it. Don't create the problems. You are kafir, you hate this. I don't hate anyone. Okay, I hate stupidity. I hate ignorance. I hate no sense. I hate people who worship sanad and the chain of narration rather than worshiping Allah and knowing Him through facts and the truth. Having said that, and here I conclude because I promise you I'm going to make it short. Brothers and sisters, when you want to read, pick the proper books. Pick proper references. If something you are questioning, do not just hide it under the carpet. Ask. That's why we have a group, mashallah, fiha 1,000 people. Questions are open. More than happy to answer any question. And if I miss, forgive me, ask me again. Do not just be a person who is selective. Seek the truth in an objective way. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the judgment day will ask us about the proofs, not about what we like. When I deny a story, not because I have a problem with that story personally, because it does not add up. Does not add up. It's like someone is telling me, as I said in the beginning, oh, Imam Hassan used to divorce a lot. No, that's not the case, Habibi, because it's against the morals of Islam. Last thing, as you are reading, you are going to figure out that certain books is very famous in our libraries, and guess what? It's not authentic. This is a subject, inshallah, we'll deal with it later on. Wallah, this book about Tahrif al-Quran is for this Sahabi. Ya Habibi, this book you are talking about, it was, let's say, written in 395 Hijri. How do you prove that this book that is in your hand is the book that the Sahabi wrote? How? Sahabi of Ahlul Bayt. How? Yeah, it is printed or published, but how you are going to prove that this book is for that scholar or that Sahabi? Show me the proof. And that's why when we talk about our books, like Al-Kulayni, his book Al-Kafi, or Tahdib al-Ahkam, yani another way for those who are new to our sessions, We have books, we consider them top-notch hadith in Shia school. Top-notch hadith. Do they have weak hadith in it? Yes, they do. But we consider them top-notch. Why? Because they are truly written by their authors and were delivered to us in a very authentic way, regardless of the content. Yani when I say Al-Kafi is for Al-Kulayni, I have proofs. When I say Tahdhib al-Ahkam for Shaykh al-Tusi, I have proofs. When I say Man la yahdaruhu al-Faqih li-Shaykh al-Saduq, I have proofs. When I say, for instance, Al-Istibsar li-Shaykh al-Tusi, I have proofs. Certain books, I don't have a proof it belongs to that guy or that. Like for instance, Al-Irshad is for Shaykh al-Mufid. Al-Ikhtisas is questionable. Tafsir Ali bin Ibrahim al-Qimmi, it is very questionable. Tafsir al-Askari, it is very questionable. And just name it. Okay? This is, inshallah, a subject, we'll discuss it later on. I stop it here. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Inshallah, off the record.